Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 22 of Nindies and Indies, a Nintendo fan podcast. I'm your host, ScrapGear. Joining me as always, my good buddy, Draco Augustus. How's it going, man?
Heyo, going pretty good.
Yeah. And also joining us this week, we got a special guest, a good buddy of ours from the other side of the states. We got N64 Josh.
What's happening? How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
We're like across the country right here. We got Eastern, Central, and
Pacific, yeah.
Pacific. Yeah.
I'm talking about.
We're covering all time zones. So, normally with our show, usually we'll talk about what we've played during the week. However, yesterday, there was a big drop with the Nintendo Direct, so we are just going to have an entire show completely focused on that. We're going to run down everything that they showed off, and kind of give our opinions and stuff as we go along. So we're going to start off with the intro, which I was super excited for. And they started off with a trailer for Luigi's Mansion 3 coming to the Switch in 2019. And I can't wait.
Yes.
Oh, no! It's going to be awesome!
I had on for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I will say, as big of a Luigi fan as I am, I'm super bummed I've never played any of the Luigi Mansion games. I missed out on it on the GameCube. I couldn't find it anywhere by the time I got a GameCube. And I'm one of those weird people that's like, oh, well, you know, it's Luigi's Mansion 2. I should probably play the first one first. So I haven't played the 3DS one yet. But you know.
I'm like that too. I almost didn't play Dark Moon because it's been so long since I've played the first Luigi's Mansion. It's literally been, like, I played it when it first came out on the GameCube and never touched it again because it's such a short game. And it was like, yeah, I played it, but I don't remember a lot of stuff from it. So I almost thought the same thing, but I was like, no, my son bought it with his birthday money, and I was like, I'll play through that with him, or I'll have one profile for me and him to play, and then one profile for me to play by myself.
There you go.
That works. Yeah, Dark of the Moon or what is it? Dark Moon? Dark of the Moon is that bad Transformers movie.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
I haven't played all the way through Dark Moon, but I think I'm like 3 or 4 mansions into it. Every time I pick it up, I just love it. I love it. And it's one of those rare games where you feel you can pick it back up and you're not like, what did I have to do again? Like if you leave Xenoblade.
Well, I mean, that's what me and Nightcrawler are for, Josh. Come on.
This is true. But yeah, I mean, even if you just need to kill the time before the first one comes back, like play Dark Moon. It's so good.
Yeah. And they're only $20 too. New, right? I got it new for $20. So I mean, physical copy too.
Mm-hmm.
So go for it.
All right. So moving on, they had they showed off some really awesome stuff for the 3DS. There wasn't a lot of it, but I'm excited for 3/4 of it. So the first game that they showed off was they are bringing Kirby's Epic Yarn. They're making a 3DS port, and they're calling it Kirby Extra Epic Yarn. That is coming sometime in 2019, which Kirby is another one of my favorite Nintendo characters. And that one is one I've seen the Wii game every once in a while, but like if I get the option to play it without having to use a Wiimote, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I for the Epic Yarn thing, it's one of those things that I'll just have to see what else is out whenever it's there. I love Kirby, but you know, if it comes out like, you know, the same time as Bayonetta 3, I might be leaning towards one more than the other. So
that's,
you know, fair. I love the art style of it. I think it's a great looking game. And
yeah.
Not one that I've played, but you know, kind of it's tough. Like the 3DS is kind of on its last leg. Like I can go to my local store right now and pick up Bravely Second for $15. So I'm like,
ooh yeah.
And they have like 17 of them in stock. So I'm like, man, I need to get these some of these.
See, I was just
not selling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just talking to ScrapGear about how I kind of want to get one of the new 3DSs just so I can have the whole Super Nintendo backlog, which not like don't have enough on my backlog already, but and then also so I can play these games on a bigger screen. Right now, what my sons have are the little wedges, the wedge 2DSs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like, I want a bigger 3DS. I want a 3DS. And there's one that, well, it was on sale, the Super Nintendo edition one for like $150, which is kind of like.
I think it's still on Amazon for that price. So
yeah,
excellent.
Yeah. So
if I didn't already have a new 3DS XL, I'd be all over that.
yeah.
So next game that they showed off was they are re-releasing or remastering Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. So they're giving it the original Mario and Luigi game treatment with an extra story, Bowser Jr.'s Journey, coming January 11th, 2019. Bowser's Inside Story is the only Mario and Luigi game that I've played. I love that game. It was a super fun story. And then Bowser and Bowser Jr. are two of my favorite villains from the Mario world. So, why not? I'm excited for that one as well.
What was this game originally released on?
The DS.
DS game, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I remember I see them all the time, but I've never picked up any of the series. And I know now especially I would love them. I would have a great time playing through them. So the hardest thing for me with any of these 3DS titles is I can't stream them. And I don't really play video games unless I'm streaming.
So what you're saying is we need to start a GoFundMe to get you a streamable 3DS.
Like this late in the game, it just doesn't seem, it just doesn't seem worth it. So
yeah, I can see that. That's the only reason it's so hard to get that 3DS, just because I do have a 2DS to play the games on. Because I'm definitely buying the next one like day one. I'm pretty sure. Luigi's Mansion.
Oh yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3 or the original.
No, the original.
Okay, yes, the original. We finally have a release date for that. It's coming October 12th, 2018. So like a month from now. And they also showed off that there's a 2-player mode, which is kind of cool. I will probably only buy the game once though, but the boss rush stuff that I can play with my kids because they each have a 3DS. Mm-hmm. And the download play made that available where you can do the bosses. If one of you has
the even greener,
yes,
even green guy, isn't that what they call them?
Yeah, the second player can play as this even greener guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So on Dark Moon, there's a multiplayer also that's available through download play. That I actually did one like a few games with both of my sons. 2DSs, and it's pretty cool. It's called like the Sky Screamer or Scream Scraper or something like that. And it's you're basically going through this skyscraper and capturing all the ghosts you can together and stuff. So if it's anything like that, that'll be pretty cool.
I mean, this one. I mean, what it looks like. I mean, I haven't played Dark Moon, so I don't know about the 2-player. But this one literally seems like you can, if you have 2 physical copies, you both get to play the game at the same time and go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Or you can fight just the bosses throughout the whole game.
With
together.
download play, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the last 3DS thing that they showed off was Yokai Watch Blasters, Red Cat Core / White Dog Squad, that are available now. And then there's going to be an update coming on September 27th that will add a new version called Moon Rabbit Crew, coming on the 27th. I don't care about Yokai Watch. My kids watch the show, and that's enough for me. That's enough yokai for me. I don't need... no.
I want to backtrack just a little bit.
Okay.
We saw with Sushi Strikers
mm-hmm.
that...
Shine a light on the wall.
They very easily put that game onto the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering after Luigi's Mansion drops on DS and possibly even before 3 comes out, if we don't get a 2-pack of
fingers crossed
on the Switch.
On the Switch, that would be cool.
It seems like Monster Hunter It seems like porting from DS to Switch is not that big a deal, and it's also strange that porting like even Wii U to DS isn't that big a deal. You know, when you got games like Treasure Tracker and stuff like that. So it really wouldn't surprise me if we saw be able to have the complete collection on, and they're just like, hey, there's so many games on the Switch coming out right now. We can put this out on DS, stagger the release, and then put a 2-pack together. You know. Or even
I'd buy it again.
Sell it as a complete trilogy, even once 3 comes out. You know, special edition steelbook. There'd only be download.
Yeah. I was about to say it'd be the cartridge for 3 and then download codes for 1 and 2.
a steelbook Luigi's Mansion, like I would have to own that. I don't care. I don't care if it's like you get the steelbook. By the way, all 3 games are digital only. It's like, but I have the steelbook.
Right.
Nothing to put in it, but
whatever.
Whatever.
But yeah, that's a very good point. And I agree. I'm sure at some point we'll see the original Luigi's Mansion and the Dark Moon coming at some point to the Switch. But you know, only time will tell, unfortunately, on that one. Right. So, moving on to the Nintendo Switch. They had a ton of stuff that they showed off last night. Starting off with Splatoon 2 version 4.0 is coming. Where did I put that? This is what I get for staggering it. That is coming on September 13th. So, today, or yesterday, when they showed it off. 4.0 for update is available, and that one came with a new category of gear called the Kensa collection, and I think that was all that they added for this part of the update. But then dropping sometime in early October, they have 4.1, which will add more Kensa collection stuff, but it also will bring a lot of the other stuff that they showed off in the trailer for the update, being some new sub-weapons and special weapons, as well as the 100 times Turf War battle. And I actually went onto the Splatoon USA Tumblr.com site to find out more about it. So with the update, there's going to be randomly thrown into the battles. There'll be 10 times or 100 times battles. And what those are is when you win, you get 10 times the experience or 100 times the experience. So that'll let you level up gear faster that way.
That'll be pretty cool.
They're also making some changes to Splatfest. There's going to be 2 different modes. There's going to be Pro and Normal. The Normal will work just like the one like Splatfest does now, where like as your team gets more and more win streaks, you'll be going up against other people or other teams that have the same amount of win streaks, just to kind of keep things more balanced and fair. But the Pro mode is going to be more like a ranked battle system. Didn't go into a whole lot, but pretty much you're going to be battling for positions, and I'm assuming depending on what position your team ends in when the Splatfest ends will depend on what you get for a reward.
How many extra sales you get?
Yeah.
Did it say we'd still be able to go in with friends for both modes?
Yes, you can still still make.
So it's almost like a league, kind of like a league battle, then for Splatfest. I like this. I wonder if it's going to be. Did they mention in that article or whatever? Like, is it now going to have a 4th factor in deciding which side wins? You know, is it going to go popular vote? I can't remember all. Isn't there 3 things that decide?
There's the popular vote, the actual wins, and the wins in solos, and then the wins in groups.
Right. So maybe they'll add wins in Pro also.
Yeah.
And
they got to keep it uneven though, or else it'll be like ties and stuff. And then what do you do?
If Pro could go solo and
it can, yeah, both the Pro and the Normal will have, like, you can hop into Pro solo or with a team. Same thing with Normal, where you can go solo or with a team.
It might finally, because right now it's every time the popular vote is the one that loses. Like, fails. So
It's always Marina's team, which makes me sad. That's usually me.
Funny.
But
So
yeah.
no battle royale in Splatoon? That's
No,
not
not yet. I'm sure it'll come
Dang.
at some point. 50v50.
I want
Turf
100
war.
inklings on the
That's Splatoon 3.
It's like you just need to turf this entire continent.
Just put all the maps together, kind of like they're doing with the Switches in Mario
Yep.
Party, and just let us play the entire thing.
Yes.
But yeah. So what did you guys think of some of the new sub weapons and the specials that they showed off?
Oh, those shaking grenade
Yeah,
things?
like the
I
shaky
want those.
grenade.
Those
There's
look
the
cool.
there was a hammer.
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
That's got to be like a melee ultimate type deal,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like, just pulling out. Almost, probably about like the splashdown is already, just like maybe more directional, I guess. That'd be pretty cool,
It looks like a giant toy. I hope it squeaks when you smack it.
right?
I will probably, depending on what it does, that'll probably be my new special, just because like anytime I go to use it, I'm just gonna be like, here comes my berserker rage, squeaky 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 squeaky, which would be awesome.
Sounds like a toddler running from your parents.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, so when the 4.1 drops, there's also going to be a new stage, which is it looks like it's based more around the Asian themed stages. You got like kind of the Japanese temple kind of roof style going, so
Yeah, that looks cool.
Mhm.
Oh, the other special that I'm pretty excited about is the basically where you go Super Saiyan and have the spirit bomb above your head and just like, yeah. Like,
I wouldn't be
that's
surprised
really
if that's
freaking
more like
cool.
a Superman dive, and you're just like, you float up into the air, you figure out where you're going to go, and you just slam into the ground.
But he's holding his hand up and like has that big ball, getting bigger above him.
Well, yeah, when he lands, it's going to explode.
But
Only
he's
time
gotta throw
will
it
tell.
down. He's gonna be Goku, okay? He's gonna be Goku.
We'll figure it out. All right. Moving on. Next game that they showed off, Mega Man 11, which there is a demo available. It's been out. It's been available for like what, a week and a half now, almost 2 weeks, something like that.
Did you get to play that yet?
Yes.
As a Mega Man expert, what do you think?
I'm really enjoying it, and I like how they tied in that you actually have to use the new double gear system. Because I tried to get through the whole level without using it, and that did not go well.
What about not being able to float through the doors?
I mean, that's a shame, but like that's more of just a.
This was the test of your how hardcore you were. So okay,
Mhm.
I understand. You're not that
Yeah.
hardcore. It's okay. It's
I was
okay.
like, I
Well,
don't even get it.
Hey, I'm still trying to perfect the Chill Penguin, the ice shot or shotgun ice, charge shot slide glitch in Mega Man X, so that you can just skip Armored Armadillo at the end of the game. So.
nuts.
Mhm.
That's
Like I said, Mega Man expert.
But Mega Man 11 will be available on October 2nd, and I, of course, will be picking that up because, I mean, with this, I will then have all of the Mega Man games on my Switch, so, I mean, why wouldn't I get it?
There you go.
Pre-order the one with the amiibo.
I did not. I need to see if I can still do that.
GameStop. It's a GameStop exclusive. So
Of course it is. Ugh. Okay, moving on. Mario Tennis Aces version 2 update coming next week, September 19th. It's going to include some new characters. We got Birdo, Shy Guy, the Paratrooper, and Petey Piranha. As well as some new co-op game modes that will unlock costumes so that you can customize your selected character. Josh, of the three of us, you're the only one who has Mario Tennis Aces, so...
Yeah.
yeah, I've still been playing it. I've played it a few times this last week. Kirby Geek, who's a regular in my Discord and my streams and stuff, now a co-host on the Nintendo Powercast.
Nice.
She likes to mess with me, right? Like,
Of course.
she'll let me win like 3 rounds, and then she just smashes me into the ground.
That sounds about right.
Right. She's probably like doing something else when you win. She's like, "Oh, I guess I better own him now."
Honestly, I think she just puts her Joy-Cons on the floor and just plays with her feet. Does other things while she's beating me. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping this update's going to be the help me improve update. That's the
Yeah.
There you go.
really hoping for. But I mean, hey, I love that they're supporting this game. I love that
Mhm.
this is a game that they were so quick to fix when it had issues. They listened and saw that there were, Bowser Jr. was way too OP with his reach and everything. And it was, I mean, almost immediate how quick they, and that gets me hopeful for other games. Like when Smash finally drops and, if Bayonetta's still way OP, maybe they'll nerf her back, that kind of thing. So I'm excited for just what that game has shown us Nintendo is willing to do. And it seems like they're willing to listen, which is not, I mean, it's kind of the first time in like 30 years, right? Since they've started making consoles that they listen to their customer base.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So I'm stoked. Bring on Birdo, bring on Shy Guy Paratrooper, Petey Piranha with no racket, just swinging his arms around. Like, I think it's
Well,
games fun.
Because I haven't played it, and I know that one of the things is being able to break rackets. Like, does his racket just not get broken?
Take his arm off.
His arm comes off, baby. That's
It does? Okay, sure.
It's like, oh my god.
The match just finishes, and he's just like, no!
Yeah. It's plant juice squirting all over the place.
Oh, good. Yeah. Isn't this game rated E?
Yeah.
Alright. Moving on. Next game they showed off is a Capcom beat-em-up bundle, which is going to include a ton of arcade classics. We got Final Fight, King of Dragons, Captain Commando, Knights of the Round, Warriors of Fate, and for the first time on console, we got Armored Warriors and Battle Circuit. I remember playing a ton of these, just like whatever ones I managed to get on home consoles, because we never had an arcade nearby when I was growing up. So any of this kind of stuff, I only played online. Not online, at home on my consoles. And they're always just so much fun, just seeing what kind of trouble you can get into, and just like, hey, I wonder if I can break this with this. No? Okay, moving on.
Yeah, as soon as I saw this, I was like, finally, Capcom, thank you for getting on board with what Neo Geo's been doing, with what even Nintendo's been doing with the arcade archives.
Mm-hmm.
But then they took it a step further and said it would have online.
Yep.
And that is awesome. That is awesome. I love Final Fight. I was so bummed when Final Fight came to the Super Nintendo. One player.
Oh, what?
The first Final Fight on Super Nintendo was one player, and it was missing Guy. You only had Cody and Haggard to choose from. So I was like so bummed out by that. So getting these games again, I played all these games in the arcade. Very few of them I played on home console. Some of them I did, but I mean, I was a little arcade rat. As often as I could get in there, I was in there. And so Captain Commando and I don't know a lot of the other ones by name, but as soon as I saw them rolling on the screen, I was like, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. So
Yeah.
Next up is Konami, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Right.
Bring they got some stellar titles just like these, like Aliens versus Predator and stuff. So fun. Turtles games, like, come on, where are they at? It's
Yes.
we're ready.
They're busy ruining Metal Gear.
Oh.
Making, what is that called, Plinko or whatever they make? Or...
Yeah. I just, Konami. Okay.
Go.
But yeah, so that is coming out also next week. That's coming to the eShop on September 18th. I don't know if they're going to do a physical release, but I mean, this is worth getting on release just because these are some great classic games to play.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Next up, a lot of people had been predicting this for the Nintendo Direct. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. That is coming January 11th, 2019. I'm excited to have just a side-scrolling Mario game on the Switch.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know it's one I missed out on because I never had a Wii U, and I definitely think it's going to be cool to have it on the go. and a classic kind of Mario game, side scrolling, like you said. I'm ready. I think that's going to be one I get for sure.
I need to watch the video a little closer because there's something that happens. You can play 5 players on the Wii U.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Player uses the gamepad and can actually create bricks. So if you're starting to fall or whatever, you can actually save other players just by tapping with the stylus on the screen. So is one Joy-Con going to work as a pointer? And, that kind of stuff. They didn't say anything. They only showed 4-player. Yeah. And maybe they've modified the levels. You didn't need it. It wasn't a necessity, but there were certain gold coins. In order to collect them, it was way easier being able to make your own stairway versus...
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember seeing any of those platforms during the trailer. So I don't know. That is a good question.
Yeah, I'm just curious how it's going
to... Maybe it'll be, maybe that will be one other game that they actually use the app for, and you can pull a phone out and do that. That'd be cool.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see that actually happening, but it's an idea.
Who knows? We'll find out.
Or just have a DS hook up to it and download an app on that. Then you've got
There you go.
And then when Mario Maker comes out and it's going to be a controller for the Switch anyway, hey, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
We're golden.
There you go. See, that's why they want to keep the DS alive so long, so they can keep using it.
Well, I mean, really, if they really want to do this right, when Crystal Chronicles comes out, they should allow 4 DSs to control.
Oh man.
Oh. Wasn't there a connector? I don't know.
Yeah,
if it
for the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking. I was like, to go GameCube controller, plug in. Whew.
I agree with Poutine. No. Just no.
It's like just...
The only way I will allow the connection of the Switch with the 3DS is if the 3DS is just like, hey, here's a map and it will show you where the secret stuff is, rather than just being like, hey, here you go, here's your extra controllers. Oh, you wanted to play with 4 people? No, you need 1 controller and then 3 Game Boy Advance.
So let me get this straight. You would rather play with a Joy-Con sideways than use a
100%. 100%.
I mean, $20 extra get a wedge versus a single Joy-Con. I mean,
you can buy single Joy-Cons.
Yeah, you can. They're $50.
I have 4 Joy-Con already. I'm good.
Yeah, I have like.
All right, you're good. You're good. Pudding says 200%.
Exactly.
This is my favorite thing ever. Just talking about the DS controlling stuff, especially Mario Maker. I can't wait when it finally happens.
Okay, moving on. I don't want to talk about. No.
I have 10 Joy-Cons. There we go.
Jeez. All right. Next up, Katamari Damacy Reroll is being remastered, coming to the Switch. Says winter 2018. So hopefully we'll get it by the end of the year. It might go into next year, but this is just a fun game where you just roll around and you just collect eventually you end up collecting like an entire town because you're making stars.
Spoilers! I've never played it.
Oh no! Too bad they said it in the trailer.
Many good things. Yeah. So like you literally just roll stuff around like snowball effect. Start with small stuff, and then you can get bigger stuff as your ball gets bigger, right?
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah. Pretty much. The idea is that you go around and you're just collecting stuff, and once it hits a certain diameter, the level ends. The idea is to pick up as much small stuff as you can and just slowly build it up so you get more points.
Okay.
What kills?
I've never actually played it. I've seen people playing it. I think.
Can you run over things that are trying to attack you?
I don't know if there's anything that's trying to attack you, but I know like you can fall in the water.
Stuck in your giant snowball of everything.
Yep.
So how have people played this before? What is this on already?
I think it was on the GameCube. It might have been on the GameCube. I think it was on. I want to say it was on PlayStation 2.
Okay,
yeah, that sounds about right.
I think I actually had a demo disc that had it on it. It was on that and Final Fantasy, where and I think Shadow of Colossus.
It looks like it would be really easy to be a phone game that could even use like gyro controls by like tilting your phone around or the Switch.
They did mention that gyro controls were going to be available for this on the Nintendo Switch. So I don't know. It's just a fun game. It gets crazy.
It's like my kids would probably like it. Mm-hmm. Maybe the younger one.
So next thing Nintendo showed off, they took a break from showing off games and they talked about Nintendo Switch Online, which is launching next week on the 18th. And the way that it works is pretty much, it's like a combination of something like Xbox Live Gold and Game Pass for the classic NES games. And I'm sure that as time goes on, they're going to do NES games and then Super NES games, maybe N64, who knows? You know, maybe. We'll see.
Oh, and GameCube.
Yeah.
Honestly, to that point, as I've been playing through Mario 64, righting the wrongs of my past to complete that game, I would much rather see that game. I was one of my wrong predictions for this Direct, is that for DLC for Odyssey, we would just get the entire Mario 64 game playable in Odyssey.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that.
And I would much rather see something like that than have just the 64. Like, just keep going with the HD remakes or something. You know what I mean? Like, just clean the mud up. You know, clean it up.
Yep. Like, I would love to see. Like, they already remastered Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time for the 3DS. Remaster Mario 64.
We already talked about it. Bring them over, right?
Yeah, bring them over. Come on, just do it. It's right there. You can do it. Come on, guys. But yeah, so some other features, they did mention cloud saves, and while you have a Nintendo Switch Online subscription, all of your games are automatically saved to the cloud, and I believe you can do them both on the cloud and on your system as well. And there was a post that I saw, someone asked about, you know, if I have like the NES game saves on the cloud and my subscription expires, do I lose all those saves or do I get to keep them? So this is something you want to be very, very careful about. If it's going to be something you're automatically going to renew every year, you don't need to worry about it. But if you're like someone who's like, I'm going to try it out for a few months and do just the 3 month and then cancel after the 3 months, any of your saves that are on that cloud disappear when your subscription ends. So you got to make sure you have a backup on your actual system. So... Also, I loved how Luigi was the scapegoat first. Like, oh yeah, something terrible's going to happen to your Switch. And it's Luigi.
Yeah, it was a fun little trailer they had there. That they showed. That was pretty, with all Bowser Jr. and all that. Nice and cute, but I mean, I'm going to get it. The way I see it is, if anybody is just like, I'm not buying this, it's like, how long have you had a Switch now using this feature already? Like, why would you not just, it's like $20 a year, or I have 3 Switches in my house, so the family plan is going to be an instant buy for me, and it's going to be awesome, or as awesome as it has been already. We knew we were going to have to pay for it, so, you know. Yeah. I don't understand people who get bent out of shape about it.
And like I said, like $20 for a year for one person, like Xbox Live Gold, that costs $60 for the year. And then if you want to get Game Pass on top of that, that's another $10. This is $20 for all of that. And they also tease special offers. I'm going to assume it's going to be kind of like how the Xbox Live Gold, if you have an Xbox Live Gold account, you get special gold discounts on games. Sometimes they're not a whole lot. Sometimes they're a big chunk, but, you know, only time will tell.
They already have lots of deals week in and week out, but one of the things that they've already confirmed, and I don't have it in front of me, but there is Splatoon gear available when you are a Nintendo Online subscriber.
Well, that's reason to do it right there.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things that they added on the Splatoon USA Tumblr account. Like right up at the top is like, when Nintendo Switch Online goes live, if you're a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber and you play Splatoon 2, you get a download code for free gear.
Yeah. So between like that, and then who knows, maybe for Mario Tennis there's going to be, that's maybe what some of these special offers are, which, I mean, that's one of those things that like people don't want to miss out on those kind of things. But at the same time, it's like, there's not a whole lot to that digital content that's like, is this really that special? You know what I'm saying? Like to kind of play the devil's advocate a little.
No, yeah, it's just a little something, something.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's $20 for the year. The special offers, even if they're just like, hey, you know, this month's special offer is if you're a subscriber and you play these games, you get a digital code for this game. If you don't play those games, like you kind of miss out on that, but it's just kind of an extra bonus on top of everything else that you're already getting. Along with that, they also announced classic NES controllers for the Switch that just, you know, clip right into the side, but they're Bluetooth controllers. I have them listed. They're $59.99 US dollars for 2 controllers. It does look like it comes with 2 controllers. And I see Putin is very upset with the $80. I'm assuming that's Canadian, right? So it is a lot, but when you consider that like one Joy-Con is how much? It's like
$50.
Yeah, about $50 for one Joy-Con. Like, yeah, you have the HD Rumble and the gyro, but like, this is definitely one of those more like, this is an aesthetic thing, a nostalgia thing, being able to play those games with the original controller in your hand.
Without the controller being this, I mean, without the cord being this long.
Yeah.
Like on the NES Classic.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is too, these are only available to online members, right? And then they're more like it seems like they're more of a collector's item because of that at that point. Like they've almost just basically said like, yeah, we're not going to mass produce these things. You know what? I just started thinking of as we were talking about this. Nintendo went after all of those ROM sites real hard and then released a Bluetooth version of their NES controller.
Well,
that's true.
Is there a correlation there? I don't know.
I would imagine that's why they went after them.
That's not a coincidence at all. Yeah. So they also talked a lot about the app support, which a lot of stuff, you know, we've already known. They've talked about it. And then they broke down, you know, what each of the plans were. So for 1 month, it's $4. 3, it's $8. 12 is $20. But I think is it up to 7? How many? Do you remember how many? 7. Up to 7, yeah. So you can get the family plan for $35 a year. So for an extra $15, if you have, you know, even just 2 accounts, that's, you know, 2 accounts. You know, one you get the 20, and then for another one you get $5 off that one extra account. But did they say if it had to be on the same system, or do you add their Nintendo ID to it?
Everything that we've heard points towards it being 7 different consoles.
Okay.
Yeah, and all my kids' accounts are through my account. Does that make sense? It's all a family account.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you have to add them as family members on your Nintendo account.
Yeah.
But
yeah. You know what I just thought of for the controllers is even if they do have limited supplies, okay, how many are we going to be able to buy through our account? Because is there going to be people that are like, well, I'm going to buy like 50 of these and sell them to people who don't have them, or
one per membership.
One per account? Okay. I like that. Obviously. But
nice. All right.
But yeah, I got concerned about scalpers there for a second.
I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be a scalper that creates like 50 Nintendo Online accounts just to get the Nintendo Switch Online to be able to buy all those and then resell them.
Somebody's going to try.
Somebody's going to do it.
They'll easily get more than $20 markup on them, so that pays for that account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, next up, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee coming November 16th. They also showed off the new Nintendo Switch bundles, which there's one for each version, and depending on which version you get, it comes with a special Eevee and Pikachu styled Nintendo Switch with one of the Let's Go games, and you also get the Pokeball Plus. I think it looks really cool. I've kind of fallen. I was super excited for the Let's Go games when they were first announced at E3. Was it E3? When they were first announced, but like as more and more information has been released about them, I'm getting more and more detracted from getting these just because they're very handholdy Pokemon games. And both of my kids play the regular Pokemon games, so why play the dumbed down version? So
yeah, my wife plays Pokemon Go, and I think that she would enjoy this game.
Mm-hmm.
And playing it with my kids. That's what I pre-ordered it the other day. The one with the Pokeball, just the game and the ball. So that I think it'll work. It's gonna sell.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I can definitely understand how the harder core Pokemon people will probably not go for it. Josh, I'm sure you're gonna get it. So you need the handholdy Pokemon, don't you? So it tells you their names and everything.
Each week in my Discord, each day actually.
Yeah.
The way I kind of look at Pokemon Go is it's giving them more time to make the game everybody wants better.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives them another series that would allow them to possibly release maybe every other year, with the and the updates for this Pokemon game. I mean, they can keep adding to it. There can be DLC. It's tied with mobile, so I mean, I can already tell you this game is going to be massive based on the amount of hype that Pokemon Go received. More players than when it initially started after they announced Pokemon Go for the Switch or Pokemon Let's. So I think we see a small minority of people that are pretty vocal about like, I'm not all that into this and I'm not going to get it. But I think it's going to be another like almost like the Battlefront 2 situation. Not that they're like people are coming after the Pokemon company for in-game purchases or whatever, but the internet thought they had finally won and we had taken down the evil publisher, and Battlefront 2 was like in the top 10 selling games for the month of December. Like,
yeah.
They didn't do anything. So this game's going to be massive.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be massive. And then, I mean, and hopefully it's fun, right? Hopefully it is. I mean, I had somebody ask me yesterday, why are you so excited about Animal Crossing? What is the draw for that game? It's simple. Mm-hmm. It's relaxing. That's why I like it. I can just chill out. I don't have to sit forward when I'm playing. I can lean back, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what Pokemon Go is going to be. It's going to be one of those games that you can sit back, recline your chair, and just it's almost like a fishing motion,
Yeah.
Fish all the time because it's relaxing. That's what this game's going to be like, and you get to hold it. I can't wait to put a little Pokeball in my belt and walk around. It's gonna be
walk around being like, yeah, I'm totally the best there ever was.
Yes.
I think that's from a song or something, right?
Gotta catch them all. Yeah, I mean, like I said, my wife and I play Pokemon Go still all the time. We did a raid yesterday. She got a shiny Moltres during the Moltres event, which I mean, so I know all about that. So I don't know all the Pokemon names from like some of the newer generations. Red and Blue that was the main ones that I played whenever it was like coming out as I was growing up on Game Boy. But then that was about it. But then I just still like Pokemon. And so, it's good to go for me, man.
The other thing to remember with the Let's Go games is little kids are going to eat this up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's going to move consoles.
It's going to be. We're going to have another. We're going to have all these people posting pictures of their TVs with Pokeballs slammed.
Yeah, right. They forgot to put the wrist strap on.
Addison from chat says literally fishing for those Magikarps. See?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There we
heck
go.
yeah.
All right,
I still need a shiny Magikarp.
you're fine. All right, next up, Diablo 3: The Eternal Collection, coming November 22nd. I'm really excited for this. I mean, I think I've bought Diablo. I have it on the 360, the One, the PS4, and I will probably get it for the Switch because it's a great on-the-go game. It's not the best Diablo game that's ever come out, but the fact that it's a Diablo game on a Nintendo console means that, like, this is showing that Blizzard is working with Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Overwatch. Come on.
I know, that's what I want so bad.
Yep.
My son and I have been playing Paladins a bunch lately too. He actually passed me up on my level in Paladins. I was like, oh dang. But yeah, man, Diablo. This is just where I'm getting so overwhelmed by games coming up because there's just so many. I'm like, my future self is just like, I'm so broke. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm very excited about Diablo being on there, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pick it up right when it comes out because what Starlink comes out at the same time, and which is that? I need to open the notes. Is that what's next? Coming up next?
Nope. It's on there.
Sorry,
but
so many games. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, a lot of Switch stuff.
Yeah, the next one is another one that is like, I got to get that one.
I think that the greatest thing about this is that they enabled the 4-player local co-op on it. Because that's one of the things that I've been missing from a lot of other games on like the PS4 and the Xbox One is couch co-op. And
yeah, for sure.
Like, so far the Switch has been the one to do that with.
Well, I mean, did y'all ever play Gauntlet Legends in the arcade where you had like the red and blue and yellow and green and running around throwing axes and stuff? And this will bring back those kind of memories and stuff. But then you'll be able to customize your warrior and stuff or your necromancer to suit your needs.
Yeah. So next up, we got Super Mario Party coming October 5th. They showed off some of the new stuff, like apparently your characters are going to have character-specific die that will help give you an advantage. I'm going to assume that those are limited, or you have to be lucky enough to pick them up while playing. There's also a solo mode, where they give you specific challenges for the different mini-games, and they showed like a Koopa trying to get like an action shot of, you know, some computer controlled characters doing one of the mini-games. And they also said that, you know, they're bringing back the classic board game style, which I think it was Mario Party 8. My wife and I played on the Wii, and that one was terrible. The games were fun, but like the game board setup was just not great.
Yeah, we've even been playing like on the DS and stuff because you can do. That's one of those series that you can do download play with, and not the most recent one because the most recent one is like 100 different mini games, but the one prior to it, I can't remember what it's called. I think it might be Rush or something like that, but I can't remember exactly. The board is dumb. It's like literally like a tiny little, like maybe a figure 8 or something, and you're spending more time like fighting for a spot on the board than just trying to make your way around the board. And it kind of took some of the fun out of it. And the other thing is like the stars just randomly appear, and then everybody's fighting to get to that area, but it's not. It was better when it was like, this is more like a board game. Add mini games, you know, like that formula was so good, and they kept trying to reinvent the wheel on it. They needed to just like, no,
it's like go back.
It's like pinball, right? Just like make a great pinball machine, and then you just play pinball. You know what pinball is, and then you can go to another pinball machine. Hey, this is different, but it's still just pinball. Don't mess with the formula. Like Mario Party had a great formula, and then they threw us all in a car together. Why would you do that? Like, what are you doing? You know, let us have our board game. That's what's part of the fun, the draw. Like, who hit this many spaces? And that, you know, the end of Mario parties were always like where everybody was getting a punch in the arm or things like that. Like, you stole the most stars, you know?
I think it was Mario Party 6 on the GameCube. My wife and I love to play that, but we always had to play it in teams, so that way she didn't get as upset with me when I stomped her in the minigames.
Pudding is asking, what's your opinion about the game not having it's basically, he says not online, but like full online.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do the boards, but you can do mini games. What do you guys think?
It's disappointing to not be able to have the full board game experience. Like, we couldn't play a good board game experience together, but it'll still be fun to be able to play them. But really, for me, I mean, you were saying Mario Party on the GameCube. That one of the ones on the GameCube was the last ones that I played, and I had the little screen that clipped on the back of the GameCube, and me and my friends would play that in the car on the way to like Colorado or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's where it was for me. That's where I'm going to get the most out of Mario Party is the couch co-op.
Mm-hmm.
So that, yeah, it's disappointing that we won't be able to do that, but I'm also, there's plenty of other games that we can, you know, I mean, so there, that's what I have to say about that.
What the bummer part is, for certain people, they don't have anybody to play with at home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So online is their main way of doing it. I'm not as affected by it because I have a house full of people.
Yeah, you do.
Kids, right? Like, we can easily play a full game of Mario Party, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
We'll even be doing the mode where you set it up on the table and put the two switches together and that kind of stuff, right? Like, so it's, and I am really thinking, like, we don't know for sure, but I am of the mind that this game is going to have a lot of content. I mean, we know it has something like 80 plus mini games already.
Yeah.
You know, but then between the different modes and even that rafting mode seemed like it was, I'm not quite sure. Is it just a mini game, the rafting thing, or what was there? They were talking about like it was the first time they were having a 4-player co-op
Mm-hmm.
mini game. Is that what the big deal was there? Like, I wasn't really tracking with them. So, but it just seems like, you know, as much content as we're seeing in games like Smash, this seems like another one that they're like, you know what, this game has not been in people's good graces for a very long time, and we need to overdeliver.
Mm-hmm.
So, and hopefully, I'm hopeful because I would love to see the online play too. I have people I would play this game with. It would be fun to stream it, get everybody in Discord and stream full games and yell at each other and, you know, that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah,
that's a good time. So hopefully they'll listen and they'll implement online, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
For
I
sure.
mean, they've said for a while they want to make games as a service.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
you're going to extend the life of a game by adding online play to it. There's no doubt about that. So if you want to continue selling DLC and everything like that, you need to make these games.
And the fact that they call this Super Mario Party instead of Mario Party 19 or whichever one it would be, is that right there says, like, this is a new thing. This is its own thing. It's a perfect name for it. You know, that right there kind of says, like, we can make this game a game as a service. Just in the name, in my opinion. I mean, definitely potential for that.
Addison from the chat says you raft within a time frame, then jump into a mini game to get more time to raft. Then you raft to another checkpoint within the time to do another mini game. So it's kind of like riding in that car thing together that we all hated, but it sounds like they came up with a way better way to do it. You know, because everybody has to paddle, you know, and that kind of stuff. So it's a mini game in and of itself to try to get to more mini games. So.
Yeah.
Plus, Goomba stands on a little stool so that he can reach over the side of the boat with his oar. So it's
using his mouth.
No, he uses his invisible hands that he steers that tricycle with.
Yeah.
But okay, moving on to the next game. It's a working title, but they showed off a trailer and talked a little bit about Town, which is a new game from Game Freak, which I know Game Freak is the company that does Pokemon, and granted, I haven't paid attention to all of their other stuff, but like Pokemon is really the only thing like within the past 20 years that they've really been known for. So,
yeah.
And that's coming in sometime in 2019. It's exciting to see them working on something different, as well as just like the entire premise for it is really interesting because it's an RPG where you are in just one town. So
yeah, it's an RPG.
It has an interesting premise to it.
Seems super thrilled.
Yeah. No, it looks pretty cool. But I mean, like I said, there's so many more games coming 2019 that I'm just like, yeah, there's too many. There's too many of them. The one, not the next one, but the one after that we're gonna discuss. That's gonna be one that I'm gonna get for sure.
Yeah. So the next thing they showed off is Cities Skylines is coming. The Nintendo Switch edition is available now. And if you're one of those city building gamers and you really like those types of games, this is for you. I am not one of those.
Yeah, me neither.
My wife has tried to get me to play Sims for years, and she's like, I tried once, and I'm just like, where's the objective? It's like, oh, you're just trying to get the life goal. Okay, what happens after that? Oh, you just keep going till they die. Oh, okay.
Wait, aren't I already doing that?
Yeah. So,
To me, back in the day, I used to play a game called Utopia on the Super Nintendo, and you had to build your city, get resources and everything going, but then set up defenses and stuff like that, and then you'd get attacked. Right, so it's kind of like tower defense mixed in with the with it. So that added an element that made me really enjoy it. I would need to see more about this one before I really make a decision.
Yeah. And Poutine saying it's $50. No thanks. Yeah, no, that's not for a game like this. Not for me, anyways.
Oh, that was our big. That was the out now, right? That was the out now.
Yeah.
So
exciting.
The next game they showed off a bit about was Daemon Ex Machina coming in 2019. I am really excited for this because I love giant robots.
For this game.
And it's customizable. It's customizable giant robots.
Oh, yeah.
What's not to love?
Yeah.
4-player
and customizable pilot.
Yep.
So many customizable things and changing your weapons out on the fly. Did y'all ever play Robotech Battlecry on the GameCube? It had kind of similar flight mechanics. It looked like on that one you could switch from plane to like a hover mix between plane and giant robot to just robot, and is like transforms, like the anime. It's based off the anime Robotech, and yeah, that was tons of fun. I mean, just like flying around real fast and shooting tons of missiles and blowing up a bunch of different things. And this definitely looks like that to me. Like it will bring that feeling back for me, which I love. And yeah, that plus being able to have your own customizable mech and your own customizable pilot, I'm all in. Like I remember seeing, like at first when I first saw it, I was like, this looks really cool. And then I saw the Treehouse at E3, and they kind of went into all the customization and like kind of how the mechanics work for the gameplay. And I was just like, this is the next like Destiny for me, almost. I mean, just like with the level of customization and cooperative gameplay and stuff.
We want it to be good for longer than a week.
Yeah. I mean, it's essentially build your own Gundam. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Gundam's a big one for me too. That it just obviously makes you think of. And yeah, this one's day one for me. I'm gonna pre-order it. See what kind of man. If it had some awesome like white and red Joy-Cons, that would, I don't know, something, I don't know, or like that like orange, I don't know. It'd be cool. I'm in.
All right.
How about y'all?
Next game they showed off is Yoshi's Crafted World, coming in spring 2019. I've always really enjoyed the Yoshi games, and this is something that's always been fun to play with my kids, so this one's a no-brainer for me. I'm glad we finally have a potential release date and an actual name for it. So I'm all in for this one.
Yeah, we'll probably be getting that one.
Flipping World, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that would have been awesome.
That's the Discord wanted. Just call it Flipping World. That's what the leak said it was called.
Come on, Nintendo, you're supposed to be listening now.
Right.
Call your game Flippin' World.
Oh, man. Alright, so the next thing they showed off is Asmodee Digital is bringing tabletop gaming to the Nintendo Switch. And then they showed off a couple of things. They showed off Carsicone coming December 2018, The Lord of the Rings living card game coming in April 2019, Pandemic coming in March 2019, Catan Universe coming eventually, and same thing with Munchkin. All of these are going to be eShop games. The only thing that I got excited about seeing this was when I saw the Lord of the Rings living card game gameplay, and especially with the announcement of Diablo 3 coming, Hearthstone potentially in the future. Like, I mean, other than that, like these are all these are all tabletop games that if I really wanted to play with my family, I'd just go out and get the actual game and play in real life.
Yeah, I was like, I have Pandemic and Catan at home. I think this is cool. This is a cool option, right? But I mean, tabletop is already kind of like it's on its way out almost. I would say not really. There doesn't need to be anything that kills it more than it's already killed its own. So as not that I think it will die because of this, but you know, it's kind of like I'll go play the board game when I'm ready to play a board game. I want to play a board game, so I probably won't get it, but I do think it is a cool option. I like those games.
I love playing Settlers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love setting it up.
There you go. Right? Yeah.
I have I talked about it on my show last night. I've wanted for the longest time like a digital board that I could just hit a button and it just goes and just all the tiles. And I'm like, cool, let's go. Let's do it.
That would be cool. Yeah. Pandemic is kind of the same. Like you have to like, you know, get certain decks over here ready and then divide it by 5 and then add an to each of those decks and then put them back together and make sure they're all like, yeah, the setup does take a little bit, but yeah. So like I said, I think it'd be cool. I think it's a cool thing. I probably won't get it because I'd want to, I don't know. Probably won't happen.
All right. Next game, Civilization 6, coming November 16th. Again, this is another one of those, you know, city building kind of games. I'm not a huge fan of this. My wife and my mother-in-law love these types of games, so this might be a game for them on the Switch, but again, for me, this isn't my thing. And I know some people love it, but meh.
The more we have on the Switch, the better. The better the variety of games, the better. The Switch has become, I mean, honestly, try to pick a genre that's not well represented any longer on the Switch. Like tower defense, maybe? You know, like...
I would have to double check it, these days. But I don't think there's an RTS yet. Real-time strategy game. Like StarCraft or something like that.
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they're doing such a great job of just, like, not every game is going to be for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody is going to love that city skylines or whatever. Yeah. They're going to love it. They're going to play it for hours. Look, this week, I forgot to mention it on my show. I had somebody reach out to me and say, hey, I want to buy my husband, who's turning 72, his own Switch. Because he played my uncle's, and he fell in love with it just to play pinball.
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
Just to play pinball. Now, hopefully he turned on to some other games and that kind of stuff, but pinball was his main reason for wanting to. And so he got him a $35 eShop card so that he could go and add a bunch of boards from Pinball Effects. But that's it, you know?
Did he try out Yoku's Island Express? Because that's a pretty awesome take on a pinball game right there.
Yeah.
Speaking of reinventing pinball, which we were talking about earlier.
Exactly. Oh, Bad North is kind of an RTS. you know,
Mm,
in a way. So they're doing a
Okay.
great job of just representing so many different kinds of games.
Mhm.
And
for sure.
it's, I mean,
It's becoming just another console. Like we're having things come out on it that are coming out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 at the same time now. They're starting to,
or the iPhone
or the iPhone.
or mobile. And so it's literally getting the best of both worlds in
It really is.
I mean, depending on how you look at it, but
Mhm.
it's literally pulling from two markets. People that are putting games on phones are going, wow, we could put this on the Switch also. That
Mhm.
may never make it over to a regular console.
Yeah.
And regular console game manufacturers that are like, hey, it's coming to the Switch too. Like, this is awesome. It's really, really good. It's good.
Mhm.
Right. When is Arena of Valor coming out, by the way? Anyways.
If you played in the beta, you should have an email with the code.
Oh, it's out?
I think there's a
Oh.
closed
Played the beta.
session right now for people who played the beta, and then it's going to launch within the next month. I'm extending that because I'm pretty sure it's very soon, if it's not already.
I'm really bad at checking my email. I need to I need to do that. Awesome. Cuz I've been playing Vainglory lately.
There you go.
That should have come out on the Switch first of all, but then I'm like, when is Arena of Valor coming out? I'm ready for it.
Mhm.
So awesome. Glad to hear it.
Next game that they showed off some more for was Starlink Battle for Atlas, coming October 16th. And they showed off that there's going to be Star Fox exclusive missions for the Nintendo Switch. And it made it
need it.
sound like they're going to add Falco,
They're in there.
Flippy,
Isn't it?
and what's the rabbit's name?
Peppy.
Peppy. It seems like they're going to be pilots that you're eventually going to be able to buy the figures for and have them be your pilot during the game. I already have this. I had this pre-ordered months ago because I'm super excited for this.
Did
Yeah.
you see how good it looked?
Yeah.
Like,
It looks so good.
it looks like the Star Fox game that we've been, I've heard people say that. I heard people saying it at PAX.
Mm-hmm.
But after seeing that footage yesterday, I was just like, this is
Mhm.
this is stellar.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
great. A great.
I really hope there will be PvP, like kind of how there was in Star Fox 64, like but full on space battles with like 8 people a team or something. That would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think this is a great utilization of the Toys to Life, where it's you get to customize your ship how you want. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I already have it pre-ordered. So.
And I do like how on the Switch you don't have to have the toys to play like mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was kind of worried about that when I first saw it, but I'm glad that it, whatever you have that you've attached before, that it saves as your stuff that you can choose from still. So
Mm-hmm.
that'll hold me over till Daemon X Machina too.
All right. Next games that they showed off The World Ends With You Final Remix, coming October 12th, 2018. I have never played this game. I've heard a lot of really good things about it, but this was a game that I think it was on the DS, and I missed out on it because I just never came across a copy of it.
It's stellar title. Like, it's very interesting. Like, the story's good. The gameplay was very different. You used the stylus and the D-pad to control the top screen, and then the stylus for the bottom screen, and you were working in tandem. I'm curious on how it's going to play out on the Switch because of that. But I'm glad it's coming to the Switch. I mean, it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's one that I never got a hold of either. So.
And then the other thing that they announced along with that was we have an official release date for the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 expansion, Torna: The Golden Country. For if you're not a season pass holder, it is available September 21st. But if you are a season pass holder, it is available today. So I am excited for that. Just because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is an amazing game, and when I bought it, I bought the season pass for it because I knew I was gonna play the heck out of it.
Yeah, I played it this morning. It does a really good job of not feeling like just a DLC pack.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, there were already some, like, just quite a few cutscenes. The voice acting is still really good. The gameplay's mixed up a little bit because you're not playing as Rex any longer. It's basically a prequel.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It had a very... The best way I can put it is it had a very fresh to it. Like, it didn't just feel like I was jumping back into Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It felt like it almost felt like it could be the next, like the third game. Like, it could be 3 in a way. Now, let's see how long it is, but based on the price and everything of what they're selling, like, I have a feeling that it's going to be a pretty hefty amount of content. I mean, and as well as this game did, they made some good money with it. So this could almost, in a way, be some fan service that was like, hey, you guys paved the way for us to put, to hire more people and really put out an excellent DLC pack. And
mm-hmm.
So far, I mean, I literally only scratched the surface, but I was impressed overall that it was like, oh, this wasn't just quest tied to the original game, So,
yeah.
I'm digging it so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, I haven't had the chance to play it yet, but I'm really excited for it. When they announced the season pass, like, this was something that they said was going to come out eventually anyways. So I'm wondering if, because of all of the positive feedback that they got on the original Xenoblade Chronicles 2, if that kind of helped, motivate and push to add even more to this expansion.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that was the case, because we've seen drops throughout. Mm-hmm. We've seen blades, we've seen just, hey, here's some cores for you guys, kind of stuff. Like, it seemed like they were always just kind of sprinkling a little love into the people that played the game.
So the next thing that they showed off, they did a rapid fire of hey, these games are coming. So the first one they showed off was Warframe, coming November 20th, 2018. This is a super fun game. I've played it on the Xbox, and to be able to play this on the go, just to be able to be like, oh, well, I'm not online, I'm not going to be squatting up with the people that I usually do, so I'll just go and I'll do some of the stuff solo and farm the materials I need and whatnot. If it allows offline play. I don't know if they said or not, but if it does...
Hotspot out.
Yep. They also Just Dance 2019 for anyone who's really into these games.
So stoked. I'm hoping this game comes to the Wii still, because I know last year 2018 still made it to the Wii, and not just the Wii U, but the Wii. So
yeah.
Like, this series never died. They're gonna end up selling more Just Dance games than Wii Sports. You watch.
Yeah.
We got 2018 last year. It's pretty fun. But we had to get that one. What?
On the Wii?
No, not on the Wii.
Come
Although
on.
I do still have the Wii. We actually still use our Wii. But yeah, we got it on the Switch. And it was a fun one. It has Ghostbusters on it. That's why we got it, because my son he was 4 at the time, and he got like freaking just obsessed with Ghostbusters. That's why I wanted to buy Luigi's Mansion for his DS, because it's Luigi as a Ghostbuster, basically.
Nice. Next thing they showed off was...
Real quick on the Just Dance games, if you are into them at all, they give you like 3 months of all of the songs in the like from the past games. And then it's not that much to buy. So like, because this is one we always play at the holidays with family and stuff for our get-togethers. And to be able to have Cotton Eye Joe on the Switch, like, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Plus, if you just need a way to get your heart rate up, Just Dance is the way to do it.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, I've been done playing that, like, sweating. I have like the back sweats after playing that game for a while, man. It's fun.
So next up, they showed FIFA 19 coming September 28th. there's a small part of me that's a little surprised that EA was like, you know what, no, we'll still put it out on there. I mean, it's great that they did, because it shows that they're trying to still keep their games on the Switch and working with Nintendo. But I wonder if we're going to have the same problem that we did with last year's FIFA.
Where's Madden? That's all I want to know.
It'll probably get there eventually.
Man, I hope so.
I think I remember playing Madden 93 on the Super Nintendo, so it should be on a Nintendo console at some point.
Is that the last time you played Madden?
Probably. Next up, they had Team Sonic Racing coming this winter, which is a Sonic-themed Mario Kart, kind of.
No.
Nope, I'm good.
Why not make them running? Sonic runs. I'm sorry.
Because not every Sonic character runs?
Well, Tails flies. Knuckles is pretty fast. He's an echidna. Sonic is a hedgehog. Like, what makes one faster than the other? Like, they can race. Like, obviously, Sonic would have, like, a higher top speed, while Knuckles could have better acceleration. They just make them like cars, but not cars.
What makes them fast is the dark side of fan fiction.
There you go.
We'll go with that. They're trying to escape that. That's why they're in cars now.
Sonic doesn't need a car. I love Sonic. I was a Sega guy growing up, just because I was like, I want a Super Nintendo, and then I came downstairs on Christmas to Sega, but I still loved what I got.
You don't have to lie to us.
I liked Sonic. I had a Game Gear too, man, and a Dreamcast. I had a Gamecast.
All right. Next up was NBA 2K19, which is available now. It didn't say if it was available on just the eShop or if there was a physical, but
no, it's
out.
out.
Again, this is another sports game. If you're into sports games, good for you. Awesome. Nice to see that the NBA games are still coming to the Switch. I wonder if it still has that.
Dribble.
There we go.
He's on fire. That was a good one. That's hopefully Playgrounds 2 will be more like NBA Jam. That would be nice.
Yeah. Which was what they also announced. NBA 2K Playgrounds 2 coming this fall. Which is definitely the more arcadey basketball game. And then they also showed off LEGO DC Supervillains coming October 16th, 2018. That is the same day as Starlink, and I'm more of a Marvel guy than a DC guy anyways, so I'll pass on this one, but hey, it's another LEGO game. LEGO games are great for kids, and they're actually just a lot of fun in general to play, so...
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We won't get double dribble because of Konami, so Destin not saying. He's not wrong.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then they had a big section on Final Fantasy coming to the Nintendo Switch. Like Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition coming in 2019. I did not have any of those Game Boy Advanced adapters that you are... I'm still going with Poudine, just no on the DS controller.
Come on, baby. DS needs to be the controller for Crystal Chronicles. I'm telling you. Let's keep the nostalgia flowing. Let's keep it true to form, right?
Could they do it through Bluetooth?
No.
I know.
But yeah, so Crystal Chronicles, I'd only ever been able to play it by myself on the GameCube, so I never got very far, because some of those bosses are stupid tough when it's just you. But yeah, so then they went on Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition HD. I thought this was only coming out for the 3DS, but it's coming out for the Switch. But I already own Final Fantasy 15 on the Xbox One, and it doesn't have the goofy graphics. So, but I think it's really cool.
You can't take that on the go.
But you could take it on the go, and I think it's really cool that Square Enix worked hard to recreate their entire game so that it could be played on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that is cool. I think there's so many Final Fantasy games coming to the Switch. I think that's pretty awesome. I've never played a Final Fantasy game, and I probably still won't, but I think it's cool that they're doing it. Or I might. When Super Smash Bros. Always makes me want to play all the games that are a part of it, so I might be like, I'll play Final Fantasy VII. But I don't know. We'll see.
And next one they showed was World of Final Fantasy Maxima, coming November 6th. This is another one of those ones. It's like it's got a really goofy art style, which is kind of cool. But it's not my cup of tea if you're into it. They also showed off a Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon, Everybody, spelled like, hey buddy, how's it going? Coming this winter. I had a friend, and actually it was my friend and my old manager at the store I used to work at. She loved the Chocobo Mystery Dungeon game, so I'm more than willing. She's super excited that this is coming. But it's a mystery dungeon game with Final Fantasy characters instead of Pokemon.
This was Final Fantasy Overload. That's what this was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, lots of Final Fantasy.
And then Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age coming in 2019, as well as Final Fantasy 7, 9, and 10 and 10-2 HD Remastered, all coming at some point in 2019.
So
if you like Final Fantasy.
If you like Final Fantasy, also, all of those are really good Final Fantasy games. I also enjoyed Final Fantasy 8, so I think it's a little funny that one wasn't on there, but,
You're not the only one. I've seen the tears on the internet.
Oh, man. But yeah, so Final Fantasy Overload, super excited for a lot of this stuff, like especially Crystal Chronicles, 12, 7, 9, 10, and 10-2. The other ones, for me, not so much. But again, it's really cool to see Square Enix working towards getting Final Fantasy games back on Nintendo where they started.
I just saw that Rust Belt kid said he's not the only one that... Yeah, we'll start a club. It'll be you and me. Never played Final Fantasy. Sorry.
So the next thing that they announced was about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. There's a Switch bundle that's coming on November 2nd, 2018, which looks very, very nice. And
the only thing I was disappointed with this one is the Pokemon one has graphics on the back of the tablet.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any graphics on the back of this tablet, which means if, like the Pokemon one, you could just import the Joy-Cons and dock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that'll be the case, but there's a chance. And I've heard some people say, too, that the Joy-Cons are kind of boring.
They are kind of boring. I mean, the right one is just one line at the bottom. It's a gray Joy-Con with a white line.
Yeah.
Could probably stencil that into one of my gray ones.
When I they dropped the ball a little bit, unless I missed something, but like, why not complete that whole logo when you slide the thing into the Joy-Con grip?
The grip, yeah, that would be...
just have that line, at least that line continue across. Now,
I agree.
There's Nightcrawler saying very boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be okay
I
if
really
they
like
sold
the way the Pro Controller looks.
Yeah.
Steelbook and stuff. I'm way more likely to get that.
Play Smash with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I already have the adapter.
That was kind of how I was feeling. It's like, I mean, that'd be really cool, but I'm probably never going to use it for Smash, so...
I just have to have the Steelbook. I have to have it.
Mm-hmm. But they also announced that on that same day, the GameCube adapter is coming for the Switch. So, yes, I can use my 6 GameCube controllers that I already own.
You don't have that adapter for the Wii U?
No, I couldn't find it anywhere up here.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah. Now there's like a billion third parties that make them too, for like $7 or something.
Oh, hey, Crimdoodle has also not played Final Fantasy. So there we go. Yeah. Sorry,
you guys are just starting a...
Everybody's coming out of the I've never played Final Fantasy closet. Yeah. If you need to do that, here's the place to do it. It's a safe place here.
So the last two things, and I will say that when this last little trailer thing started, I was super excited, and then I felt a little let down when they announced Isabelle is getting added to Smash Ultimate as a playable character. And I was just like, oh, they're gonna do Animal Crossing! And then it didn't happen, which then, of course, like, immediately after that, there was Tom Nook, and they did officially announce Animal Crossing 2019, but...
So, I was watching with my wife, and a couple of my kids, and Isabelle starts, and as soon as she said, I need to take a break, I said, guys, they're putting her in Smash. This is not on the Switch. My wife's like her blood is boiling, like
such a good troll.
So ready. And I'm like, I said, as soon as this finishes, they're going to announce Animal Crossing on the Switch. Watch. And
of course,
there was Tom Nook flipping his lamp on, like got boxes packed up in his office because they're getting ready to move out of New Leaf. He's got a Switch on his desk,
Yeah.
So pretty.
Man, you picked that apart. I didn't even notice the Switch on the desk.
Yeah, there's, dude. If you were in my Discord at all, after that launched, I had all the pictures with his different sayings, and people would say something, and I would just respond with those.
Respond with him like this. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, like all his different facial expressions.
I'm still trying to figure out what he meant when he was tuckered. They were tuckered. His friends were tuckered out from camping and smashing. Like, what does that mean?
Sarcasm sign? Or... I can't see your face right now. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. I got nothing. Nope.
Josh was broken.
I was like, wow, Nintendo. Like, wow.
Yeah.
All right. Isabelle, other skin, our other Isabelle, other skin, our other. Yeah, it's interesting. She's not an Echo. She's her own character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so now they could have 2 more Animal Crossing in future DLC as Echo characters of the villager and Isabelle. Just thinking ahead.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they have DLC characters for Smash Ultimate at some point.
Rex and Pyra.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Fingers
or
crossed.
Or both. Whatever you need.
Friggin', they have to have an ARMS character. I bet they end up announcing that before it launches. Maybe. I don't know.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's strange we haven't seen anything from ARMS. That's a little surprising to me.
I still play that game every now and then. That's a fun game.
It's like a ghost town online.
Yeah. My
kids
kids love it.
Yeah,
but
it makes sense. It's fun.
That was everything for the Nintendo Direct September 2018. So would definitely love to hear what people are most excited for. There's too much for me to really pick one thing because
hard.
There was a lot of stuff.
Really, I think it's Luigi's Mansion 3 for me. I think that just the whole Luigi's Mansion saga has been a big part of my life these days. And,
a big part of my life this year.
Yeah. So, sharing that with the kids is lots of fun. We got all 3 save files going in Dark Moon, like one for me and my younger son, and one for my older son. We're all, when we saw Luigi's Mansion 3, we were like, oh man, like we're pretty excited.
Nice. All right, well, we're going to start wrapping things up. We're going to start with Josh. Josh, where can people find you?
N64josh.com is the home for all my content. I'm N64Josh everywhere on social media. I host the Nintendo Powercast, twice a week Nintendo news podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and I also am the host of the Smash Bros Cast, which is a once a week Smash Bros podcast. Same places, iTunes, Google Play. But you want to see it? You want to see everything? Just go to n64josh.com.
All right. And Draco?
You can find me at Draco Augustus on Twitter, or you can email me if you'd like at draco@mulehorngaming.com.
And as for me, as always, you can find me everywhere as ScrapGear. I have pretty much nailed that name down anywhere that I can, which is awesome. And now that my computer is up and running, I have a better power supply. I'm hoping to start streaming again soon on twitch.tv/ScrapGear. Again, still working out the kinks on that. But be sure to follow Nindies and Indies on Twitter at Nindies and Indies. That's Nindies twice because "and" was too long. And be sure to check out mulehorngaming.com, which is where all of our content goes. I write for there on occasion. Draco's a big writer over there, especially focused on Nintendo stuff and indie stuff. And if you like video game podcasts, be sure to check out N64 Josh's podcasts that he was just talking about, as well as the Analog Assault podcast, the official video game podcast of mulehorngaming.com. And before we get going, I want to give a shout out to Spooky Doorway, the people who made Darkside Detective. They got a Kickstarter going right now for season 2. I don't remember what episode number it was, but it was
episode 2.
Episode 2. We actually had 3 out of the 4 on our show talking to us. All 3 of them, great people, super funny. So if you're looking for something,
and we have several
Kickstarter,
other games that we have to interview the developers for. So be sure and go back and look at those too.
But yeah, be sure if you're looking for something to back on Kickstarter, check out the Darkside Detective Season 2. When I checked it this morning, they were about 40% funded with 27 days to go. So hopefully,
I was like, they just started it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
They started it on Wednesday. But yeah, definitely go check them out. And if you haven't checked out Darkside Detective, do it. It's a great, funny game. A lot of really funny Easter eggs in that game that reward you for just exploring and clicking on everything. But that is going to do it for episode 22 of Nindies and Indies. Until next time, GG.
GG.
Bye.